Stop throwing away your old potting soil. Today I'm going to show you how to reuse your old potting soil to turn it into new potting soil and save you money. If your potting soil is old, dry, and maybe a bit lacking in nutrient, then this is totally normal and your potting soil would just need a little work to turn it into new soil. I've got this bucket of old potting soil here, and the first step is you're going to need a sifter and to run your soil through the sifter. A sifter with about a 1/4 inch mesh is ideal. We want to do this because there might be some big clumps like leaves, wood, or debris that we want to get rid of, and the sifter is going to remove it and let only the smallest stuff like soil get through, which is what we want. I also have a few extra containers, and I'm also going to run them through the sifter to add them with the rest of my soil. And this is all of the big stuff that I was talking about earlier that we want to remove from our mix. So I'm going to dump all of these bigger particles into the orange bucket because we don't need them anymore. So now our soil underneath is nice and fine, that all the big clumps have been collected in this bucket. Except the soil is a little bit dry, actually a little too much more than we want it to be. For the next step, you want to get a container with the warmest water you could get from your tap, and we're going to be pouring it in and mixing it into the potting mix to re-wet the mix. So I finished now adding water and mixing in my potting mix. But if you come in and take a look, we went from a very dry looking soil to this. It's looking a whole lot better. Now this soil is still lacking some other things. The first of which is we want to bring back the structure of the soil. We're going to be adding some perlite and peat moss, which we'll add to our mix. Perlite is to help bring back drainage to our mix so that it doesn't hold on to too much water. And peat moss will make our soil mix light and fluffy again. For my perlite, I'll add a few handfuls of it. There you go. And for my peat moss, I'll add about 2 or 3 of these buckets. With your peat moss and perlite added into your mix, then the next step is to add some compost. They will add back necessary nutrients into the soil that is lacking. The amount to add to your soil mix is totally up to you. You could add up to 1/3 of the soil mix, but as for me, I'm going to be adding another 2 of these buckets of some topsoil. And you could also use topsoil or mushroom compost from the stores. Also, if you're adding compost that has a lot of clumps in it, then you may want to use a sifter to sift your compost first before adding it to your soil mix. I just finished mixing in my compost. Now, one thing though that I would say about it is that it is a little bit on the heavy side. So if I was doing this again, I might add a little bit of more peat moss or perlite to make it fluffier. But other than that, this soil mix is pretty good and it's practically perfect potting mix that is nice, squishy, but yet it still break apart. Perfect brand new soil that could be used. Now there's a bonus part that you could do that'll take your soil mix to the next level and make your plants grow better. You'll want to use an organic fertilizer, and it breaks down slowly to turn into nutrients for your plants. The easiest fertilizer that you could add would be an all-purpose fertilizer. That is a balanced fertilizer. That means that all of the 3 NP and K are around the same number on the fertilizer bag. And the NPK are these 3 numbers. The first stands for nitrogen, which is for a lot of leaf growth. The second is for phosphorus, and the third number is for potassium. Phosphorus helps with fruiting and flowering, while potassium helps with your plant health. For me, I'm going to be adding this blood meal fertilizer, which is high in some nitrogen, because I'm going to primarily be using it for growing some lettuce and also some seedlings in it, which I want my plants to grow fast. So blood meal is what I'm going to be adding since it is high in nitrogen. And just as few sprinkles of a handful to your soil mix will do. And now this basically is the advanced soil mix done. Just to show you the way that I would use this new potting soil mix now, one of the ways is I'm going to take a cup and fill it up with my soil mix. And then with a seed that you want to plant, you're just going to take it out. And on the surface of the soil, you just want to carefully sprinkle your seeds over it. And then last is with a little bit of the soil, I'm going to add it to a finer sifter to add a layer of soil on top. Thin layer. And then I'm going to be watering in with my mister so the seeds are moist. Just like that, the soil mix is perfect to use for starting seeds in. And another way you could use this soil mix, I'm going to show you, but we have to go to where it is. And that other way to use the new potting mix is with your raised beds that are lowering down and needs topping up, you can add your potting soil to it to top up your bed. Now that this raised bed is finished, it should be ready for my spring planting. So we got Tweaker out and we have a little rice, a little plantain, and a boiled potato. There we go. Make it up a little. You want it? She liked the rice more. Plantain, no potato. Well, it doesn't seem like she liked the potato as much right now. Make sure you guys peck like or some emoji in the comments for Tweaker if you like seeing Tweaker in our videos. Tweaker already had some breakfast, so she's not feeling as hungry this morning. Probably why she isn't eating a lot. And that's how to turn old potting mix into rich, beautiful potting soil that you could reuse to grow plants and save you a ton of money. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you learned a lot. If you did, share this video with a friend so they too could reuse their potting mix and save money as well. Goodbye!